Summerhill Cinema 700 here, dropping by for a quick video on just a little bit of movie-related news. This is regarding a new documentary that's going to be coming out titled Pennywise, the Story of It. Now, before I get on with this video, I know I haven't made a video in a long time. I just haven't had the motivation lately, and during the time, this time of year around winter, I just get down about things. And I mean, I've been watching movies once in a while, but I started working a new job a few months ago. And with that, I just find on my days off, I just try to spend as much time as I can outside, even though it's kind of shitty. It's starting to get more sunny now, but where I live, we're not really affected by snow. It's more rain. So just this time of year, not a lot of videos coming from Summerhill Cinema 700, so apologies about that. But hope to be getting back on course fairly soon here, just as the weather gets better and I have the motivation to do it. But enough of that regarding this. I just read about this a few days ago and I had no idea that this was happening. So a few of you might be aware that there was it's like a documentary made recently about Pet Cemetery. And actually, let's take a look here what it's called. I can't remember, but Pet Cemetery documentary. I think it's called Unearthed and Untold or something like that. Let's see, Unearthed and Untold, The Path to Pet Cemetery. So this is a 2017 film, or it's a documentary just about Pet Cemetery and how it came about, and I guess how it became a movie from the Stephen King novel, and it has a lot of behind-the-scenes footage. Haven't seen it yet, but I'm very interested in picking up that. But even more than that, I just found out that they're doing a film, and I believe it's by the same group of people that did that particular film, about Stephen King's It, in the original miniseries from 1990, which, if you don't already know, I'm a huge fan of. I mean, just great fan of that film. I love it to death, and I never get tired of it. And I know there's a lot of people that think that the new film is better than the original miniseries. But then again, the new films has created this whole new group of fans, which is really cool. But me being a fan long before the remake was made, I just have to say that I'm a bigger fan of the original miniseries. So obviously finding out this news is very cool. I'll just go on about this for a second. I'm just reading this story here on geek.com. Pennywise, the Story of It, explores Stephen King's chilling clown tale. So here's just a little bit of information if you were not aware of it. Stephen King's horrifying story about a killer clown, still gives people the creeps. Now fans can get a behind-the-scenes look at King's eerie 1990 miniseries in the new documentary Pennywise, the Story of It. On Friday, Deadmau5 Productions posted an extended trailer, which I will leave in the description so you can watch, of the documentary on YouTube, Pennywise, the Story of It. Gives key details on the miniseries' development, cast, and cultural impact. Deadmau5 Productions didn't reveal a release date for the documentary, but it said it will premiere later this year, so that's very exciting. It isn't your typical clown who makes animal balloons and performs funny skits. He's a shape-shifting demon who preys on kids. In the miniseries, a group of outcast kids dubbed the Lucky Seven discovers the creature and promises to destroy him. Even though the miniseries aired more than 25 years ago, it still chills most of us to the bone. In the documentary, fans will see what it was like to film the horror miniseries and watch cast members reflect on being part of King's story. Tim Curry, who played Pennywise, and other actors including Seth Green and Emily Perkins discuss favorite set moments and why Pennywise will remain one of the most terrifying, unforgettable horror characters of all time. So that's one article, and then there's also one here on a website called Hype Beast, and it just basically talks about kind of the same thing. It just says, featuring the original cast and crew of Tommy Lee Wallace directed ABC miniseries from 1990, the impact of the creepy clown. Of course, there's going to be, and it kind of talks about the controversy surrounding the film because it was around the same time that John Wayne Gacy was found guilty for the murders. And, but it looks very fantastic, and this for me is so exciting because ever since I first watched the miniseries, I've always been trying to find special features and behind-the-scenes footage, but none exist. You can't find any online or anywhere, so the fact that this is going to be a documentary, and not only is it going to be showing us a ton of behind-the-scenes footage, which you can see too in that trailer, which I'll put in the description, but also interviews of the cast and crew, both the Losers Club from the time when they were young kids to the time when they're adults, of course, except for a few actors and actresses like Jonathan Brandis and John Ritter, who have, of course, passed away, and Harry Anderson, but it'll show a lot of the cast and crew who, of course, are still alive. But it'll be really cool to see, like the losers, especially, the young ones, because I know like what's that actress's name who played Beverly when she was a kid? I think it says here somewhere. I think it's Emily Perkins. There's been nothing really about her, so it'll be interesting to see her again. And I saw her in the trailer, and she looks pretty similar to what she did in 1990. But this is just very exciting news for us fans of the 1990 miniseries It, and even if you are a fan of the new film or you haven't seen the miniseries yet, if you're just a fan of It in general. Although this will probably be geared more towards the people who have watched the original film, of course, because that's what this documentary focuses on. And then we'll talk just for a quick second here about the new film. I know I didn't talk much about it, but I did enjoy it. I think that in certain aspects it followed the story better of what happens in the book. And I'm reading the book right now, and I'm about 200 pages left, and it's like a 1,300-page book. So from what I've read so far, I can say that the new film does follow the story a little bit better than the original, but I feel like the original actually captures the creepy aspect of the town of Derry, and I do like the cast better too in the original. I'm a bigger fan in general of the original, even though the new one does follow the story a little bit more. It'll be really interesting though to see what they do with the second part of the film. I think will be coming out this year with the adults. So that'll be very interesting to see. And I think with this new documentary, they're also going to be visiting some of the locations and whatnot of It, which is pretty cool. And what I'll do after I do this video, because I'm terrible at editing, but I actually visited a couple of the locations of the original 1990 miniseries when I went to Vancouver last year. I only took one picture because me and my buddy, we went over to Vancouver to see a concert, and we were just kind of in a rush. We were walking around Stanley Park there, and I said, let's go to the Beaver Lake, which is one of the locations where they filmed Tim Curry standing out on the lake with that sewer building in the background. So I actually went there and I took a picture, which I will do another video of, just kind of showing that for the hell of it, so you can just see kind of what that area looks like now. But I did visit the location, and it does look fairly similar. Of course, that sewer building I believe was a prop, so it wasn't actually there. But that was really fun. But hopefully that gives you an idea of how passionate I am about the 1990 miniseries. I love it to death. So having this documentary is something to really look forward to. So I will leave the trailer down below for Pennywise, the story of It, if you haven't seen it already. Let me know what you think about this trailer. Are you a fan of the 1990 miniseries, or are you a fan of the 2017 film? Definitely let me know. And until the next video, take care. And like I said, I'll have the link down below so you can watch the video and let me know what you think about it. Alright, we'll see you next time. Have a good day.